Today, we're going to check out a new dating simulation game where you two can romance this girl, or maybe it's going to be this girl, or this girl. Wait a minute, what kind of game is this?
What the heck?
Spawning season is right around the corner, here on the bean farm.
And this is our review of
The Flower Shop Summer in Fairbrook.
I'd like to thank the publisher for providing me a review copy of the game prior to its release.
It was developed by WinterwolvesG.
It was published by those crafty guys over at Ratalaika.
Hear that, achievement hunters?
The game released on April 15th to all major consoles for the price of $9.99. This week's game is a visual novel hybrid, so if you're achievement and trophy hunting, it's highly recommended that you go into the in-game menu first thing and turn all the options to skip text and speed along the storyline. As for the message speed, let's go ahead and turn that all the way up.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.
Oh, so yeah, here we've got another visual novel arriving on the farm. These tend to be listed within the achievement hunter communities due to the fact that they can be ran through for a quick, fast, and easy completion. Not to mention, they tend to come from fairly affordable prices. Most of the time. This week's game is no exception to that rule. Other than the fact that you're probably not going to be able to just wander your way through this one without a guide. I personally used Overhyped Gamers for all but the last 2 achievements in the game, which I used a text guide over on TA to mop those up. But anyway, I'll put a link to Overhyped's guide right up here. The storyline for this visual novel follows a struggling student named Steve.
What's up, Steve? Yeah, Steve.
Who is shipped off by your father to your uncle's farm for the summer so you can learn responsibility.
You need to get some responsibility.
Which sounds like a likely story. So you take the reins as Steve as you spend the summer in Fairbrook, working on a farm, making new friends, and maintaining old relationships. You can raise and sell your own crops, spend time with local girls, and schedule activities for your week in advance. Yeah.
Did you say spend time with girls? I like girls.
Yeah, Timmy. Based on your storyline choices, you'll end up hooking up with one of these damsels. If you play your cards right. The game features 9 different endings that change based on your decisions throughout the game. Will Steve become a good, responsible farmer, find love, or both? You decide.
Oh boy, a romance novel based on your farm? Sounds like my kind of book.
Not so fast. This one is totally clean. And although I truly cannot say that I actually read much of any of the dialogue here, the graphics stayed PG and sports a T for teen rating from the Nazis over at the SRB. The overall game here doesn't branch out much further than the confines of the typical visual novel. We got static, hand-drawn 2D characters that kind of slide back and forth with little to no animations, which I suppose it's exactly what you have for the illustrations that are scattered throughout a typical paper novel. The only thing here that separates the Flower Shop from the other visual novels in this genre is the daily routine choices and farming sections. Although this does help break up the monotony of text-based storylines, this too quickly becomes a chore, like a farming chore. And I hate to say it, but this is much of the exact same gameplay that we saw within the Little Lily Princess. I'll put a link to our review of that little gem right up here. We are lucky there's people out there that make these guides that help streamline your journey to the achievement completion and adding that shiny new platinum trophy to your display case. The publisher pointed out a few feature highlights for this title, including it's a dating simulation where you can farm at the same time. What the heck?
Who wants to do that?
Raise your crops and sell them at the market. Woohoo! Plan to spend your time with your weekly scheduler. This is sounding a lot like work. Relationship. Each character has a relationship value that affects the gameplay. Okay. And a total of 9 different endings. Okay, now you're talking. In the end, the flower shop really failed to leave a lasting impression on the farm. I might recommend it for someone looking for a slower-paced game and wanting to avoid all the blood, guts, boobs, and butts found in most other console releases. The daily routine choices affect character relationships were mildly interesting, but I soon found it all to be a chore, which left the flower shop with 2.5
beans out of 5. Yeah, well, that wraps up that review right there. Here's some notes I took. Where I put the keys to the tractor. So, you know, we make these new review videos every week. So, if you're an indie developer or there's something you want to see,
Fortnite, Dad. Do Fortnite.
Oh, we ain't doing no Fortnite.
let us know your thoughts and recommendations in the comments down below. Be sure to visit again next week
as we continue to take humorous stabs at some of the industry's new and upcoming titles.
Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on the farm.